with Zeref going into the whole Eclipse plan, will we ever see like anyone rise up back to defeat him? Well, definitely there's an answer to that in this chapter of Fairy Tale. And oh boy, does Acnologia look fucking terrifying in this one. Every time, like, you don't fuck with Acnologia, like, he is the motherfucking Dragon King. But trust me, there's quite a few things to get into, so let's get right into it. Although, in all that, I didn't have a choice to talk about the spoilers, I definitely did want to talk about the latest, like, FT memory stuff that we've been getting. We're covering the Tower of Heaven stuff. We have gone into this. I do apologize. I was going to try and do a video talking about what the messages are going to be. I'm going to try and do that at some later point and all that. Quite a few videos and all that to do and all that. But now we finally got, you know, one of my favorite arcs and all that. We finally got Tower of Heaven, which I really loved, like, seeing that stuff. Like, you know, we got to see that at, like, a bunch of the old people, like Simon. Like, you know, we got to see a bunch of the old cats, like Trinity Ravens. Like, I was really surprised where I was like, oh shit, we actually got to see some of these old characters and all that a lot of people actually don't remember. And I don't think Hero really remembered too much for the most part. Like, you know, getting to see, like, some of the old characters from, like, you know, Urz's friends. Like, really, never really got to see, like, a bunch of them. Although we got told in the manga that Trinity, like, Ravens did die, like, in the end, which was always very unclear. I think he had to, like, clear that up at a little, like, point later when, like, one of the Spriggans actually came back, like, you know, used his power and was like, oh, this person actually died. Like, so that was kind of interesting that. But let's talk about Acnologia, as the guy is literally firing laser beams for the most part across the entire ocean, trying to take down Jalal and crew. And the fact that Jalal has to pretty much use Meteor going Super Saiyan style on this shit, like going like, I need to buy time evading his attacks, I need to make sure that, you know, it's just keeping away, I need to be a fly in front of his face. I can't beat him, but I can definitely try and distract him. And it's like, the fact is, it's like, you know, I thought I could buy him, but at this rate, there is going to be nothing left of this world, and it's just like this really sinister, highly detailed version of like Acnologia's face as he's just there, like, you do not want to mess with me. And the fact that, like, even Anna is trying to open the ravines of time, and she's like, I'm trying, but someone's closing it on purpose. Like, what the hell's going on? As we turn to Zeref, who is just walking throughout, like, you know, who's taking probably the slowest pimp walk ever going into it, where it's like, you know, oh, okay, Natsu's on the ground now. Okay, you had the little monologue, and he's like, I'm gonna make the fairy tale doors themselves be the, like, connection between, you know, the ravines of time, making him go back to his last, activating the Neo Eclipse, and, like, he's there saying, like, my new world will begin, this world will crumble, and it's just like, and the irony he's talking about is saying, you know, I'll relive my life once more while keeping the memories I have now, which is weird, where it's like, he now knows everything. The question is, though, now he never mentions, though, if he's going to be keeping the power or not. That was one thing where I was like, okay, like, would he actually retain that, or is it the fact that, like, he didn't have, like, Fairy Heart in the first place, since if we're going back by timeline, technically it wouldn't have existed for the most part. So, like, that's going to be an interesting thing. He's like, I'm not going to make these mistakes anymore, and I am going to save this world. And when we cut to this point, it's where we get to see Lucy and Gray noticing that they're, like, words falling out of, like, the entire E&D book, knowing that Natsu has taken some heavy damage or something serious has happened to him. And this is the one part I have a slight complaint in the chapter, because it could have been easily fixed for the most part. Like, it was like, it's not the fact that Lucy completely drew the fact of it. It's like, we was told and all that, you know, this is some, like, heavy demon fucking literature and shit, like, where I take it that Lucy doesn't practically know about that, but she's like, no worries, I've remembered all of it, and saying, you know, where it's going, all that, and, you know, which part to rewrite. And I feel like, you know, like, we have got a thing where, like, if people, this is a fucking old thing to remember, but the glasses that help you speed read, I feel like if maybe Lucy was like, wait a minute, I need time to, like, analyze it, and she's got to use these glasses and saying, like, that would help me remain, it just makes it feel like, you know, we've never really seen Lucy to be this, like, super genius. Like, I know it's like a few, like, that's a mild, like, nitpick for the most part and all that, but there was one thing where it's like, I think if you've got a magic tool in the actual series that's supposed to give you a reason saying, okay, I can literally blitz read this shit. And it's like, the fact is, like, you know, never mind, like, I can actually just copy the word itself. But I feel like there's a little bit more towards the book, and just like how it's like, you know, I can just scribble in the air and just like, oh, I'm fixing Natsu. Yeah, this is like a little bit of the DIY, do-it-yourself, like, fucking operation here. Just go, Put it there, a little thingy over there, a little demon mark here, a little smiley face, and also as well 2 little horns of dragons. There we go. They're in E&D sticks, you know. Put a bit of sellotape on the left. Like it's weird, like how you're thinking this is the thing that fixed Natsu, but if we're going by this logic, you just keep rewriting the words in Natsu. Natsu's pretty fucking invincible for the most part, as he's like, even when he like gets back up, but mind you. And he's like, you know, Gramps told me always something. If I was ever to pass through that door, I'd have to vow that I would return. And I'm going to vow to live as well. As you see, like, it seems like he's still got the hole, or that is, like, regenerating his body. However, there is a sign of that. It isn't just like, yeah, Lucy, you're the fucking best. Like, this has affected Lucy as well, where, like, you ripped those fucking things to, like, Natsu, and now the demon writing itself has now taken a hold on Lucy. Like, it's grasping onto it. It's like these veins just popping around her. So we need an explanation. It's like, this is probably what happens when you interfere with black magic. This is what you do. You need to understand this shit before you try tampering with it. So now we gotta see what the hell's happening to Lucy and how it's gonna be even handled around. Like, that's where it's like the whole thing where it's like, okay, what the fuck do you do? And I feel like this is what happens, Lucy, when you try and mention Ozzy, you're trying to help Natsu, we know that. And even as well how they're talking about, like, where in the world will their friendship between Natsu and Lucy take him after everything. And now that, you know, honestly, I feel like, you know, like, all that, like, exactly what, like, Zeref has to do right now to literally win. He didn't even have to turn around. He's just like, oh, Natsu's back up. Just go through the door. Oh, there we go. Eclipse. Everything's sorted. Like, he just has to go through that unless Natsu can follow him through the time. Like, going from that, like, you don't know whether or not it's a one-way ticket. It's like, oh, close. That's it. Like, no, that's not the thing that we know about so far. So, you're like, we're going through that, and that even with, as well, that we talked slightly about Jalal in this chapter, going in that his distraction, what he plans on doing as well, where it's like, that now that the ravine has opened alongside their route, he's like, I'm going to keep Acnologia in check, I'm going to distract him and try and pull him out. But the problem is that you can see it with your own eyes now, and even Acnologia's, what the fuck is that thing? You know, I have no idea. You're not going to go, here, Acnologia, go into the giant portal. He needs to knock him back somehow, like, in enough, like, if that's his plan, it's like, you know, going, like, you know, way too far and all that, you're going to, like, push yourself into that ravine itself, Jalal, and you're going to fuck yourself. So now we've got ourselves to, like, whether or not, like, is Jalal going to try and do this sacrifice or not, to try and do it, which, you know, I think a lot of us thinking that, you know, that's not going to happen, but that seems to be the plan, whether or not, you know, like, if they try and go through the door, like, right now, the gate, and they're going to close up, or whether or not we're going to have this situation where Natsu, Zeref, Jalal, and Acnologia are all going to go through the ravine, and, you know, the fuck it, it's time theory at the end of the day, so there's never one single, like, theory on time at this point. Are they all going to meet at the same concentrated point in time? They got, like, how they were describing it as well for Acnologia, that he's going to just be in the rift the time, that he's not going to be in there, but the fact that someone's using it right now and trying to use it as a device to go into the past, does that mean that this, like, a ravine in time is going to be the same thing? We don't know. There's a lot of things, and a lot of it's not going to be explained. And like I said as well, we still have to find out about that, so I'm still a bit cautious, Ozzy, about time theory and stuff. It's just something that is just, like, really, like, I like it. Like, I love, like, a lot of things and all that, like, the concept of Destiny. I love, like, you know, talking about time theory and that. It's something that, you know, I used to research a lot, you know, also when I was a kid, because it's interesting shit. But the question is, like, how you handle it and all that. And, you know, there are series that can do it, and I'm not too sure whether or not Fairy Tail will pull it off, but I definitely did enjoy this chapter. There was some little bit of, like, you know, like I said, the only thing I had a problem with for the most part was, like, you could have fixed that as, like, you know, pretty much a nitpick, where it's, like, the Lucy thing, where it's, like, what you could have done with Lucy is that you could have had those, like, you know, magic enchanting glasses that they have, like, way in the start of the series, and it's, like, that would understand, like, runes, but then again, Lucy should have kind of realized, this is a book of demons right here. This is E-N-D. You don't just go around and tamper with it. But then she's like, I'm going to save Natsu, something serious to Tam. So, you know, there's two sides of the same coin, you know, for most parts. So, we'll have to wait and see. Other than that, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below what you thought about the Fairy Tail chapter. That is all from me, though. There's quite a bit to talk about this one and all that, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hopefully, we'll try and get the spoilers out next week, though. Unfortunately, I wasn't there and all that to talk about, and the chapter was already back as soon as I got back. So, sadly, and all that, no spoilers, no theory, like, crafting, any of that stuff. Just good old straight chapter, straight there. So, I didn't get to see any of, like, prediction stuff and all that. Just straight for the read, which was kind of nice to a change of pace. But that's all from me. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.